everybody. This is RJL 518 welcoming you to New York Mets baseball on Action PC Network. Okay, it sounded a little corny, but I guess it's what it is going to be for tonight. Today is April 24, 1986, and in this day, the New York Mets were at Busch Stadium to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Another one of those cookie-cutter stadiums from that era. Pretty much, like I said, a number of those stadiums all look the same. Riverfront, Veterans, Busch, you know, they all, Atlanta, Fulton County, they all look the same pretty much, all these stadiums. All circular round bowls, Three Rivers. I mean, really, they all look the same stadium with that artificial turf on there. What a ballpark. The Mets play the Cardinals today. The starting pitcher for the Mets is going to be Ron Darling, and it'll be Bob Forsch getting the start for the game. We'll be getting started for the game. So let's take a look, though, as we hear that the Mets are off. The Mets are coming off that unbelievable game against the Pirates. And before you ask any questions, if you want to know how that game went, you need to check that report on that. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Mets. It will be Lenny Dykstra batting first, Backman batting second, Hernandez third, Carter batting fourth, Strawberry batting fifth, George Foster will bat sixth, Ray Knight will bat seventh, Rafael Santana batting eighth, and Ron Darling, the pitcher, batting ninth. Let's take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals. We have Jack Clark at first, Tommy Herr is at second, the Wizard of Oz at short, Terry Pendleton at third, Vince Coleman in left field, Willie McGee in center, Andy Van Slyke in right, Mike LaValliere is behind the plate, and on the mound for the Cardinals will be Bob Forsch. Bob Forsch in 1986, pretty decent pitcher, 3.25 ERA, 14 wins, 10 losses. I mean, not a bad pitcher in my opinion. 14 and 10, 3.25. In today's baseball, that's actually considered good. And remember, the Mets and the Cardinals had a pretty good rivalry back in that day. So, and St. Louis was, a lot of people thought, was the only team that was really going to give the Mets issues in 1986. Of course, history knows, we know how that went out. Let's get things started here at top of the first. Leading off for the Mets will be Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra is off to an 8-31 start. He's got 3 doubles, a homer, and RBI. He scored 4 times. Bob Forsch gets the signal, and here's the pitch. Dykstra grounds one right to Smith. The Wizard of Oz throws quickly and guns him out. 1 down. That will bring up Wally Backman. Backman off to a decent start. He's 5 for 16. Tim Tuffel's been getting a lot of starts at second so far early in the year, as we are actually using the lineups that were used in these games. Backman the batter, and here's the pitch from Forsch. Backman grounds one to Tom Herr. Herr throws to first and gets him out. 2 men down, and now we'll see Keith Hernandez. Hernandez off to an excellent start, batting .368. He's got that, which is 14 for 38. He's got 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. He's already knocked in 10 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Hernandez hits one into left field for a base hit. He drills it between third and short. Coleman has to fire it back in, and the Mets get themselves a base runner. A 2-out single. Here's Gary Carter. Carter had a heck of a game in the last one. He's batting .250. He has a double. He has 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Hernandez on at first. Carter at the plate. Here's the pitch. Carter hits a high fly ball to Van Slyke, who kicks it in and takes it in for the out. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for St. Louis. It'll be Coleman batting first. McGee will bat second. Herr bats third. Clark will be batting fourth. Andy Van Slyke will bat fifth. Terry Pendleton sixth. Mike LaValliere seventh. It'll be the Wizard of Oz batting eighth. And, of course, Bob Forsch batting ninth. Here's the Mets defensively. We have Keith Hernandez at first. Wally Backman at second. Rafael Santana at short. Knight at third. Foster in left. Dykstra in center. Strawberry out in right. Carter behind the plate. And on the mound for the Mets today is Ron Darling. Darling, 1 win, 1 loss, a 2.57 ERA so far for the replay. Let's get things started at the bottom of the first. It will be the Coleman leading off, and you know you want to keep him off the base pads. Here's the pitch from Darling. Coleman grounds one to Backman. Great play by Backman, dives for it, fields it, gets it to Hernandez at first, and gets the out. One down, and now the batter will be Willie McGee, another pretty good speedster. McGee off to a great start this year, 366 average. He has 3 doubles, a triple, and a homer, 4 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to McGee. McGee grounds one to Santana, throws to first, and just nails him. And that's the second out. And now we'll see Tom Herr. Herr's struggling early in the replay, 8 for 42. He has a double, and he's knocked in 5 runs. Darling gets the sign from Carter. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. First strikeout for Darling, and that's the inning. No score going in the top of the second. Strawberry leads off for the Mets. He's off to a pretty good start, batting .297, and he has 1 home run on the year. Force toes the rubber. LaValliere gives him a sign. Here's the pitch to Strawberry, and it's a leadoff walk. So Strawberry goes to first. 54% chance to steal, so I'm not sure on that yet. The batter now will be Foster. Foster off to an awesome start, batting .381. He has 2 home runs on the year so far. Force looks at the sign. Strawberry on it first. Here's the pitch to Foster. And that's a walk to George Foster. So now runners at first and second with nobody out, and now the batter is Ray Knight. Knight batting .333 so far for the replay. And he's got a home run on the year so as well. Knight at the plate, Foster at first, Strawberry at second. A chance for the Mets, maybe. Here's the pitch to Ray Knight. Knight hits one, popped it up to second. Herr calls for it. 1 out. And now we'll see Rafael Santana. He's batting a little better than his replay numbers. He's batting .275 so far. And we'll see if Santana can make a play here for the Mets. Strawberry still at second, Foster at first. Here's the pitch. Santana grounds one to the Wizard. He throws to Herr, on to first, and that is a double play. So the Mets strand a base runner. Still no score, bottom of the second. Here's Jack Clark leading off for the Cardinals. Clark batting just like his replay. He was batted .237.86. He's batting .237 now. Darling on the mound, looking to make the pitch. Here's the pitch to Clark. And that's a leadoff walk. So Jack Clark goes to first. First walk issued by Darling, and now we'll see Andy Van Slyke. Slyke definitely struggling so far, batting .176. He does have a homer. Clark on it first, not really a threat to steal. Here's the pitch to Slyke. Van Slyke grounds one. It's going to be close. Hernandez will tag Van Slyke for the out, but Clark moves over to second. 1 down now, and now we'll see Terry Pendleton, also struggling early in the year, batting .150. Clark is on at second base. Darling checking the signs. Here's the pitch to Pendleton. Pendleton hits one to Santana. He should make the play. It's going to be close. He's out. Clark does go to third. And now for St. Louis, we'll see Mike LaValliere. Mike LaValliere, I don't know, maybe an unsung hero for Cardinals once in a while. I thought he was actually not a bad player. He is batting .167 for the replay. He batted .234 in '86. Clark on at third, LaValliere the batter. And Darling's going to intentionally put him on, and they're going to pitch to Ozzie Smith. And I think maybe I might have pressed the wrong button, but Ozzie Smith will now bat. He's batting .256, runners at first and third with 2 out. Here's the pitch to Smith. Struck him out! And we get out of the inning. No runs scored. We go to the third. Both the Mets and the Cardinals have left 2 men on base. Top of the third inning, here's Darling. Darling 0 for 4 so far for the replay as a batter. Here's the pitch from Forsh. Darling hits one deep to center field. but McGee gloves it for the first out. Here's Dykstra, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Dykstra grounds one to Ozzie Smith, who tosses it to first for the second out. 2 men down, and I know this is supposed to be a night game, and I know I have a day's picture up there, so I'll get that fixed the next time, people. Here's Wally Backman. Backman 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And Backman drops the ball, but LaValliere throws to first for the out, and that's a strikeout. 2.5 already gone by, and a much different game than the last one. No score. Bottom of the third inning, leading off for the Cardinals will be Bob Forsch. He's 0 for 1 for the replay as a batter. Here's the pitch from Darling. And he long fly ball to Dykstra, but he makes the catch to retire Forsch. 1 down. And now here's Coleman, who's 0 for 1. Always want to keep him off the base pads. Coleman gets in the batter's box. Darling looks. He sets. Here's the pitch.
Strike 3.
Struck him out. Third strikeout for Darling. And now the batter will be McGee, who's 0 for 1. Remember, Ron Darling had a heck of a game this last time out he pitched. If you want to know what happened, you have to check out that game. No spoilers in my league, people. McGee the batter. Here's the pitch from Darling. McGee grounds one to Santana. Poor play. Might not get him. Nope. McGee's going to have a base hit. They say it's questionable, but I'm pretty sure he got there in time. Santana did not make the right play. So that puts McGee on at first, and Tom Herr is up. He's 0 for 1. McGee definitely a stealing threat. Here's the pitch. There goes McGee. Pitch out. The throw. Safe. Steal number 5 for Willie McGee. Definitely a threat to steal every time he gets on the bats, just like Coleman does. But Herr's the batter still. He's 0 for 1. McGee on at second. Darling off the sign. Here's the pitch to Tommy Herr. Herr grounds one to Santana. This time Santana makes the right play, fields it, and gets it to Hernandez to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Still no score as we go to the top of the 4th inning. A beautiful night here between the Mets and the Cardinals. Keith Hernandez leads off for the Mets. He's 1 for 1. He lined a single between third and short. Forsch on the mound for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Hernandez hits one to center. McGee's got it. Puts it away. 1 down. And now we'll see Gary Carter. Yes, definitely, people, a much different game than the last one. And if you want to know how that game went, I say it again, you got to watch it. Here's Carter, 0 for 1. Forsch with the sign. There's the pitch. Carter hits one into the outfield. That is going to be a base hit. Carter will hold it first. Van Slyke retrieves the ball and tosses it back in. And the Mets have a 1-out base runner. And here's Strawberry now. Strawberry walked his last time up. A chance here now for the Mets to maybe get a run in here. The games between the Mets and the Cardinals are always interesting. Forsch gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry grounds one up the middle. It's good up there. Only might be a play at first. Didn't get him. It's a base hit for Strawberry. Carter gets to second. It'll be an infield hit for Strawberry. And now here's George Foster. Runners at first and second, still 1 out. Strawberry beat the throw. Foster looking at the pitcher. Forsch gets the sign. Here's the pitch to George. Foster, first pitch to Foster, just missing the sign. LaValliere guns to first, and Strawberry is out. Wow, what a play on Strawberry. So now there are 2 men out, and Carter still at second. Here's the pitch to Foster, and that's a walk. So George Foster walks, and now the batter is Knight. With 2 outs, though. Knight 0 for 1. Force gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Ray Knight. Knight hits one high and deep. It's off the wall. It rolls to the wall. Carter scores. Foster rounds third. They'll send him home. Knight will not go. Foster will. Here's the throw home. Foster is safe. It's a 2 RBI double for Ray Knight, and the Mets take a 2-0 lead. And that was close. Knight holds it second with a double, and now the batter is Santana. Here's the pitch to Santana, who's 0 for 1. Santana laces one down the line. Foul ball. Santana again gets back in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Forsh. Santana grounds up the middle. An unbelievable play by the Wizard of Oz, who nails Santana out at first base to end the inning. That's why Ozzie Smith is in the Hall of Fame. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Mets jump out in front 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Jack Clark, the batter, leads off for St. Louis. Darling on the mound, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Clark. Clark grounds one to Santana. He makes a nice play and guns him down at first. 1 out. Here's Andy Van Slyke. Slyke bunted out to first on a sacrifice. Here's the pitch to Van Slyke. Van Slyke lifts one to center field, but Dykstra makes the catch. 2 outs. And now here's Terry Pendleton. Pendleton 0 for 1. Darling looks at the sign. Here's the pitch to Terry Pendleton. Pendleton hits one into the outfield. That is a base hit. Strawberry picks it up and tosses it back in, and the Cardinals pick up a 2-out single. Next batter will be Mike LaValliere, who's 0 for 0. I intentionally walked him. I won't do that this time. Darling on the mound. Here's the pitch to LaValliere. LaValliere hits a high fly ball, but Strawberry's got it at the warning track. No runs, a hit, no errors. 4 innings in the books. Still 2-0 Mets as we go to the 5th. And Ron Darling will lead it off. He's 0 for 1. Force kicks and deals. And he walks the pitcher. Okay, yeah. So Ron Darling gets on with a walk. And you'll get, as usual, the Cardinals betray the Cardinal rule. Don't walk the pitcher. Here's Dykstra. He's 0 for 2. Darling definitely not a threat to run, but Dykstra definitely is a threat to hit. Dykstra in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Forsh. Dykstra hits one to the outfield. That's going to be a base hit. It's a blooper. Darling goes to second, and he will hold there. A base hit for Dykstra. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and here's Backman, who's 0 for 2. And you know he's looking to make a big hit. A chance here for the Mets to get some more runs here on their hated foes, the Cardinals. 4 steps on the rubber. Backman gets the look. Gets him to his batting stance. And now Force with the pitch. Backman grounds one to her. It might be 2. 1, 2. It is a double play. And Darling moves over to third. And now we'll see Hernandez, who's 1 for 2. A run is on at third is Darling. Hernandez got to try to bring him in. Force gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Hernandez hits one into the outfield for a base hit. Darling will score. Van Slyke picks it up and tosses it back in, and the Mets now make it 3-0. Hernandez stays at first base, and now Carter is up. Carter also 1 for 2. He flied to deep right and singled to right. Force getting the sign from LaValliere. Carter the batter. Here's the pitch to Gary Carter. Carter Carter grounds one. That's a base hit on the ground between first and second. Hernandez will move over to third. Van Slyke tosses it back in. And this is not, and now, if you're the Cardinals, this is not who you wanted to face in the situation. Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry is 1 for 1. Runners at first and third. Can Strawberry come through with a big hit today? Hernandez gets close, gets away from third base. Carter at first. Force gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry hits a fly ball, high, deep, and it is out of here. Nope, it bounces off the wall. Hernandez scores. Carter rounds third. They'll send him home. There will not be a throw from Van Slyke. Darryl with a double, 5-0 Mets. Boy, was that a blast. I'm surprised it didn't clear the fence, but just missed it. Strawberry on at second. The batter now is George Foster, who's walked twice. Forces the pitcher. He gets on the sign. Here's the pitch to George Foster. Foster hits one down the line, but foul. And they'll do it again. Foster back in the batter's box. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch to George Foster. Foster grounds one to Pendleton. Pendleton guns him down, and that ends the inning. But the Mets do some damage. 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. It's the New York Mets 5, Cardinals nothing. Bottom of the 5th now coming up. Ozzie Smith leads off for St. Louis. He's 0 for 1. Darling getting the sign. There's the pitch. Smith grounds one to Knight. Knight's going to have to hurry, but he's going to get him. 1 out. 1 away, and now here's Bob Forsch, who's 0 for 1. Forsch has only given up 5 runs. Darling checks and deals. Here's the pitch. Forsch hits one to left. And it is out of here. Bob Forsch hits himself a big home run. That's his first home run of the season, measured 333 feet, just got out of here. And of all unlikely people, Forsch gets the Cardinals on the board. It's now 5-1. Here's Vince Coleman. Coleman 0 for 2. Here's the pitch to Darling. Coleman grounds one to Backman. He's going to have to hurry. He's got it. 2nd out. 2 men down. The batter now is Willie McGee. Darling on the mound, looking the sign. McGee in the batter's box. Now the pitch. McGee pops this one way up there. But Carter is going to make it, and that ends the inning. A run on a home run by the pitcher. 1 hit, which was the home run, and no errors. After 5 complete, New York Mets 5, Cardinals 1. We go to the top of the 6th. Ray Knight will bat for the Mets. He leads off, and Ray Knight has popped to second, and he doubled off the wall down the third base line to score 2 runs. He has 2 RBIs today. Here's the pitch from Forsch. Knight hits one through the infield. That's a base hit between first and second. Van Slyke getting a lot of work out there in the outfield, but not the kind of work he wants. And the Mets get the leadoff base runner. Santana will now come up. He's 0 for 2. The pitch from Forsch. Santana, he hits one into center field. And Santana's going for second, and he's safe with a double. Knight goes to third. Nobody scores. Darling now the batter. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Here's why National League Baseball is so much more interesting. Normally in the American League, you just throw every batter up there and that's what happens. But in this kind of thing, you got the pitcher batting. Ron Darling is pitching a very good game today, okay? But you got 2 big runs out there. Corners are in, threatening look at the bunt. I'm going to hit away. Here's the pitch to Darling. LeVire's going to talk to Forsch. Now the pitch. Darling dribbles one to Pendleton. They will not send Knight home. They will throw to get Darling out and one out. And I believe that was the right play. We'll see a pitching change for the Cardinals, and it's going to be Pat Perry. Pat Perry, in 1986, a 3.8 ERA, 2 wins, 3 losses, and a couple of saves. He's 0 for 1 with a replay, with a 3.00 average ERA. Lenny Dykstra bats, and against lefties, he's not as strong as against the righties. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Dykstra. Dykstra hits one up the middle. They're going to send Knight home. The throw is going to be to first. Dykstra is out, so the Cardinals take the out, but give up the run, and it's now 6-1 Mets. Santana moves over to third. The batter now is Backman. Backman is 0 for 3. Santana on at third. Here's the pitch from Perry. And that's a walk. Backman goes to first, and now we'll see Keith Hernandez, who's 2 for 3 today. 2 hits, an RBI, and scored a run. 6-1. The Mets already have 10 hits against the Cardinals today. Pat Perry gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Struck him out, and that ends the inning. The Mets get a run. 2 hits, no errors. Going in the bottom of the 6th, it's New York Mets 6, Cardinals 1. Tom Herr will lead off for St. Louis in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carter looks into the dugout, checks to see what he has to do. Herr is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Darling. Herr laces one up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Dykstra has to fire it back in, and the Cardinals get a leadoff base runner. And now we'll see Jack Clark, who's 0 for 1. Herr on first, a 54% chance seal. I don't think it's see it coming, but we'll see what happens. Darling gets the call. Here's the pitch to Jack Clark. Clark hits one high, deep, but Foster makes the catch. 1 out as Herr goes back to first base. And now here's Andy Van Slyke, who's 0 for 1. Van Slyke gets in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Darling. Van Slyke grounds one to Backman. His only throw is to first base to get the speedy Van Slyke out. They'll take the second out as Herr goes to second. 2 men down now for Terry Pendleton. Pendleton 1 for 2 today. Herr on at second. Here's the pitch from Darling. Pendleton pops this one up, and Santana gloves it, and that ends the inning. 6-1 Mets. We go to the top of the 7th. Gary Carter leads off for New York. Pat Perry still on the mound. Here's the pitch from Perry. And Carter draws a leadoff walk. He's 2 for 3, and he's been on base a lot tonight, so a big walk for Carter. And now you bring up Darryl Strawberry, who's 2 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs. So Strawberry's pretty hot tonight. But he weaks down a little bit against the lefties. Carter on at first. Here's the pitch to Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry lifts one to right. Van Slyke didn't have to move. 1 out. Carter will stay at first. And now we'll see Foster. Foster 0 for 1, but he's walked twice. Cooled down a little bit tonight. Now 61 degrees here in St. Louis. Perry on the mound. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Perry in the ballgame, and now we'll see Ray Knight. Knight is 2 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs, and a scored run. Carter's still on at first. Here's the pitch from Perry. Knight hits one right to Pendleton, who'll make the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Darling still looking pretty strong. Mike LaValliere leads off for St. Louis. Here's the pitch from Darling. LaValliere hits one into the outfield. That's a base hit. Strawberry fires it back in, and St. Louis has the leadoff runner. And now we'll see the Wizard of Oz, who's 0 for 2. Darling looks over at LaValliere. Definitely not a stealing threat. Here's the pitch to Carter. Carter and Smith to Smith. And Smith hits a blooper between third and short. That's a base hit. LaValliere to second, and he'll hold. And suddenly now the Cardinals have runners at first and second and nobody out. Pat Perry is the batter. I'm pretty sure we'll see a pinch hitter, and we will, in the form of Jose Oquendo. Jose Oquendo, 4 for 7 so far. Batting .571 in the replay. He batted .297 in 86. But not a home run threat. The runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th, but the Cardinals are now threatening. Here's the pitch from Darling. Struck him out. 4th strikeout for Darling. A huge strikeout. 1 down. The batter now will be Coleman. Coleman 0 for 3. A lot of people had a lot of high hopes for Vince Coleman. A lot of people thought Vince Coleman was going to be the American League version of Ricky Henderson. Didn't turn out to be that way, and we all know that Ricky Henderson, I don't really care what anybody says, Ricky Henderson was the best leadoff hitter in baseball history. Coleman in the plate. Here's the pitch from Darling. Coleman hits one to Backman, and he boots it. He boots it. A huge error. And now the bases are loaded for Willie McGee, who's 1 for 3. Backman commits a huge error. That should have been at least 1. Now the tying run is on deck, but McGee at the plate. A huge error by Backman. And the bases are loaded. Darling looks around. Gets the sign. In the stretch. Here's the pitch to McGee. McGee hits a ball. That's going to be a blooper to second. That's a base hit. LaValliere scores. Coleman to second. Strawberry tosses it back in. It's now 6-2 with 1 out. And now the tying run at the plate and Tom Hearn. How big is that error now for Wally Backman? Should be pretty much either out of the inning or maybe just give up a run. Darling seems fine. But we give him a little calm down here. 1 out, but bases are still loaded, and the Cardinals are definitely threatening. Under the batter. Here's the pitch to Tom Herr. Herr grounds one to Backman. They will not throw home. They throw to Santana. They throw to first, and it is not a double play. Herr beat the replay. Smith scores. It's now 6-3. 6-3 now, and now Jack Clark, the batter, who's 0 for 2. Darling trying to get out of the jam. Here's the pitch to Clark. Struck him out. Big strikeout by Darling, and gets out of the inning with minimal damage. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 errors. At the end of 7, New York Mets 6, Cardinals 3. We go to the 8th. Rafael Santana is the batter, 1 for 3, and we'll have Kurt Kepshire pitching for the Cardinals. Don't know much about him. In 1986, 4.5 ERA, no wins and a loss. He only pitched 8 innings. But a 2.35 ERA so far for the replay. Santana leads off. He's 1 for 3. He grounded to short twice and doubled to left center. Here's the pitch to Santana. Santana hits one into the outfield. That's a blooper, and that's a base hit. So Santana will hold it first, and the batter now is Darling. Darling definitely a threat to bunt. And I think you go ahead and sacrifice Santana in this play and not use a pinch hitter just yet. Here's the pitch to Darling. Darling bunts it. Santana going to second, and he's going to be... That's an error as LaValliere throws it away. In the center field, he tried to get Santana out. A huge error by LaValliere, and now the Mets have runners at first and second, and nobody out. It was bunted in front of the plate, and LaValliere just threw it into center field. He should have just went to first and gotten the out. So the Mets make a huge error that costs a couple of runs. Now let's see if the Mets can take advantage of the Cardinals' error now. Here's Lenny Dykstra, who's 1 for 4. Dykstra hits right-handers better. Kepcher on the mound. Here's the pitch. And he walks Dykstra. So the Mets now have bases loaded and nobody out. And the batter is Wally Backman, who's 0 for 3. Wally Backman definitely upset himself at that error that cost a couple of runs. Luckily, Ron Darling was able to minimize the damage. Can Backman redeem himself? Kepcher on the mound. Backman is yet to get a hit. Here's the pitch. Backman grounds up the middle. That is going to be hurt to his right. Has it, tosses to second. No throw to first. Santana does score. It's now 7-3. So Backman does ground in the fielder's choice, but he does pick up a run batted in. Now the batter is Hernandez. Hernandez is 2 for 4. Lined a single, lined 2 singles, flied out, and struck out. Backman on at first, Darling on at third. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Hernandez grounds one to her. They will send Darling home. Here's the throw to second for 1, on to first for 2. They should get the double play, and they do. And ends the inning. But the Mets pick up a run. New York Mets 7, Cardinals 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Darling seems fine. He still has a few more, and maybe if he can get to the 8th, it'll be fine, but I got the bullpen. Ready to go. Leading off for the Cardinals will be Andy Van Slyke. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Darling. Struck him out. 6 strikeout for Darling. And now the batter is Terry Pendleton. Pendleton is 1 for 3 today. Grounded to short, popped to short, and lined to single. Pendleton steps in the batter's box. Darling gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Pendleton grounds one to Knight. Knight's going to have to hurry, and he is out of there. Great play by Ray Knight to get out Speedy Pendleton. 2 men down, and now the batter is LaValliere, who's 1 for 2. Darling trying to get out of it. He's still got a few pitches left in him. LaValliere gets the plate. Here's the pitch from Darling. Struck him out. 7 strikeout for Darling. That's a great way to end his stint. And the inning is over. Still 7-3 Mets. We go to the 9th. Gary Carter leads off for the Mets. Kurt Kepcher still on the mound for the Cardinals. Carter is 0 for 0. I'm sorry, he's 2 for 3 today. Fly to deep right, single to right, grounded a single, and walked. Carter now batting .282 for the replay. He's had some great hit. He's had a couple of good days hitting for the Mets. Here's the pitch to Carter from Kepcher. And he walks Carter, so Carter goes to base on again. And now the batter is Strawberry, who's 2 for 3, who's had a good day today. 2 for 3, a double and 2 RBIs. A chance for Strawberry to get as much insurance runs as possible. Here's the pitch to Strawberry. Strawberry pops this one up to first. Clark calls for it. 1 out. And now George Foster, who's 0 for 2. Carter on at first. Foster the batter. Here's the pitch from Kepcher. Struck him out. Not what Foster was looking for. He took the third strike. 2 men down now for Ray Knight. Knight is 2 for 4. Popped to second, doubled off the wall, lined a single and lined a third. Kurt Kepcher gets the call. Here's the pitch to Knight. Knight dribbles at the plate, and LaValliere will not make a throw, and Knight's going to have his third base hit of the game. So now runners at first and second, still with 2 outs, and now Santana is batting. He's 2 for 4. A chance for Santana to get in another big insurance run. Kepcher gets the call. Here's the pitch to Santana. Santana hits one into the outfield for a base hit. Carter will score from second. Knight moves to third. Coleman fires it back in. 8-3 Mets. Rafael Santana is definitely off to a heck of a start for his year. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Now the batter is Darling. We will go to the bench. And coming on to pinch hit for the Mets will be Danny Heap. He's 4 for 10 for the replay. Santana at first, Knight at third. Any more insurance runs are always welcome. Here's the pitch to Heap from Kepcher. LaValliere's going to go talk to him. Now the pitch. Heap grounds one up the middle. It's going to be Smith to his left, fields it. Bang, bang play, safe! Heap gets an infield single. Knight scores. Santana goes to second, and it's a pinch hit RBI single. 9-3 Mets. And now the batter is Dykstra, who's 1 for 4. So Danny Heap definitely helps his cause as a pinch hitter, and now Dykstra will bat. Here's the pitch from Kepcher. Dykstra grounds one to her. This should end it, and it does. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. After 8.5, New York Mets 9, Cardinals 3. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mets are going to go to the bullpen. And you got switch hitter, left, and switch. So it really does not matter who you pretty much bring in this case. So I'm going to bring in Orozco to close the game out. So coming in to pitch for the Mets will be Jesse Orozco. For the replay, 2.70 ERA, no wins, a loss. He's got 3 saves. This is not a save situation. Ozzie Smith leads off for St. Louis. We'll see if Orozco can keep it and close the door. Here's the pitch to Smith. Smith hits one high down the line, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll pitch to Smith again, and he walks him. So Ozzie Smith gets a walk. He goes to first, and now we'll see Kurt Kepcher, but I'm sure we'll see a pinch hitter. And we do, it'll be Tito Landrum will pinch hit for the Cardinals. Tito Landrum off to a pretty good pinch hitting start. He's batting .429 for the replay, only 3 for 7, but he batted .210 in 86. So Orozco walks the leadoff batter. Ozzie Smith could be a threat to steal, but you're up 9-3, so you just got to concentrate on the batter. Here's the pitch to Landrum. Landrum hits a fly ball, high, deep, but Strawberry gets under it, and he puts it away for the out, 1 down. And now we'll see Vince Coleman is 0 for 4. Smith's still at first. Here's the pitch from Orozco to Coleman. Coleman grounds one through the infield for a base hit. Smith moves to third. Strawberry tosses it back. So now the Cardinals have runners at first and third, 1 out. The batter now is Willie McGee, who's 2 for 4. McGee gets the lookout from the dugout. Orozco gets the sign. Here's the pitch to McGee. McGee grounds one. That's through the infield for a base hit. Smith will score. Coleman moves to third, and now it's 9-4. So Orozco I try to bring in here to get the job done, and he allows. He's lucky he had one out, but he allows a run. And now it's 9-4 Cardinals with runners at first and third, and the batter is Herr. Herr's the batter. Orozco at the mound. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Herr. And he walks Herr. So the bases are loaded now with one out. The batter is Jack Clark. And I got to take Orozco out. And coming in to pitch for the Mets, so I'm bringing Terry Leach. Leach has pitched one inning, gave up one hit, and has a strikeout. Jack Clark, the batter. Bases loaded, one out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. A home run does not give the Cardinals a tie, but you got to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch to Clark, and now they'll bring in Clint Hurdle, who will pinch hit for the Cardinals. Leach will still pitch. Here's the pitch to Hurdle. Hurdle hits one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Coleman scores. Coleman scores. Herr to second. McGee rounds third and holds there. It's now 9-5. And now Van Slyke is the batter, who's 0 for 3. That's going to be it for Leach, and I'm going to bring in Randy Neiman to pitch the lefty. So Randy Neiman will pitch to Van Slyke, but the bases are loaded with still one out. The Cardinals have 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. Bases loaded. A home run now ties the game. And now they will bring in Tom Lawless to pinch hit for the Cardinals. Lawless, a definite better threat. Neiman on the mound. Here's the pitch to Lawless. Lawless grounds one. That's through the infield for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. It's now 9-7. And the batter now is Terry Pendleton. And I got to bring in Roger McDowell, so I can't get this game over and still only 1 out. Hurdle on at third, Lawless at first, Terry Pendleton the batter. In comes Roger McDowell. 9-7 now as the Cardinals have buttoned 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. Reminds you of a Met game that was played earlier this year in the real life against the Nationals. 1 out still. McDowell on the mound. Here's the pitch to Pendleton. Pendleton dribbles it to Santana. Throws for 1. Throws for 2. His only play is to first. Lawless goes to second. Hurdle scores. It's now 9-8. And the batter now is Mike LaValliere. Unbelievable. The Cardinals have put 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Mets just can't get this game over. LaValliere 1 for 3. McDowell on the mound. And here's the pitch to LaValliere. LaValliere hits one right to... He's going to have Strawberry try to make the dive. And he doesn't get it. That's a double. Lawless scores. LaValliere with a stand-up double, and the Cardinals have tied the game with 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. The score is tied at 9 as the Mets bullpen has just exploded here. Imploded. 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth, but 2 outs. The winning run at second base, Smith is the batter. and they're going to intentionally walk Smith, and they're going to bring up Tito Landrum again. As Tito Landrum will pinch hit to the last place at any base. Now if you're the Mets, you're just trying to get to extra innings. The Met bullpen has absolutely imploded here in this ballgame. Tito Landrum the batter, McDowell on the mound. Here's the pitch to Landrum. Landrum grounds one, hits one, foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Landrum again will do it again. Here's the pitch. Landrum hits one to Strawberry. Here comes the throw home. Grounds a base hit. LaValliere will score from second. St. Louis wins the ball game. And my mouth, the jaw in my mouth has actually gone to the floor. I cannot believe we lost this game. Roger McDowell gets the loss, but even though he takes the loss in this game, I'm going to give that to a Roscoe who gives up 4 earned runs. Kepcher gets the win, goes to 1-1. A well-pitched game by Darling, and and the bullpen implodes, allows the Cardinals to score 7 runs in the 9th, and the Mets lose 10-9. I'm in a state of shock. Could not get the game over. The Mets will drop to 7-4. The Cardinals advance to 5-7. The win goes to Kepcher, goes to 1-1. But the loss goes to the Met bullpen, who gives up a total of 7 runs. A well-hit ball game by the Mets goes by the boards. Gary Carter was 2 for 3. Knight was 3 for 5. Santana was 3 for 5. But the Mets come away with the loss here. Couldn't get anybody out in the 9th inning. And allows St. Louis to score 7 in the 9th to win the ball game. I guess that's baseball for you. We'll try again next time. We'll see what happens there. Thank you all for watching this disaster. This is RJL 518 signing off. Final score from Busch Stadium, St. Louis 10, New York Mets 9. See you later, everybody.